Hey guys, Devin here with Ground Force Metal Detecting. How's everybody doing today? This is part 2 on a series of basic metal detecting concepts for beginners that I'm kind of putting together. This is for people who just got their first metal detector and don't understand some of the settings, or maybe you didn't even get a metal detector yet and you're just trying to learn some things about it. I'm going to talk about 3 basic settings that most metal detectors have, that the reason that I'm kind of putting them together in one video is that these are settings that you're going to want to know how to adjust as you detect, okay? It's going to be based on things that might change while you're detecting a site, okay? The first one is sensitivity. The second one is reactivity or recovery speed. And the third one will be ground balancing. Okay, so first I'm going to tell you what these things are. Sensitivity, you can think of as basically your power level of your detector, okay? It's actually the level of amplification of the signal that's being received on the receiving side of your coil. Now, the higher your sensitivity is, the deeper the detector will go, but the downside of that is it also will make it more susceptible to EMI, which is electromagnetic interference, which is electric fields in the air, radio stations or power lines or Wi-Fi or electric fences, anything electrical can cause interference. It'll make it a little more susceptible to false tones in the ground from iron. Anyway, that's why you have to have sort of a balancing act with your sensitivity. You don't want it too high, and you don't want it too low. Reactivity speed or recovery speed, all right? So think of your metal detector in the way that every time it passes over a target and beeps, that's sort of a little mini event. And this happens in milliseconds, but as it passes over a piece of metal, it gets the disturbance in its magnetic field, it senses it, reports it to its own processor, which processes and evaluates the signal, and then reports it to you as a tone and on your display. So that's a little mini event, okay? Every time your metal detector does that, it's not detecting while it's reporting it to you. It has to detect, report it to you, and reset for the next target, okay? That's how it works. This happens very fast, but you can adjust the speed at which this happens. And it's sort of quantity versus quality, okay? You can crank your reactivity recovery speed up fast, high is faster, and you want to do that when you have lots of targets and garbage in the ground, and you need to make sure that you're hitting all these targets that are close together, and you want to make sure that you don't miss any good ones in there, okay? It's not going to go as deep. It's going to be fast. It's going to hit targets inches apart or less. Now, when I slow down my recovery speed, okay, it will take more time and process with a better quality everything that's under the coil. It will do this a little bit slower, okay? It will get deep. You will increase your depth with a lower recovery speed. You will also increase your susceptibility to EMI and interference, because that interference is going to be picked up as that detector looks for every single thing it can look for, okay? The problem, other than that, okay, the problem with low recovery speed is that as you're passing your coil across the ground, you could have 2 good targets, close together. Your coil is going to pass over and report the first one, and while it's reporting that to you, you pass the coil over the second one. Okay, so it's going to miss that second one, if the recovery speed is too low. That's the give and take, okay? Now, ground balancing, your ground has a certain level of ferrous molecules in the ground, okay? Pieces of iron, tiny little pieces of iron. It's like dust, okay, in the dirt. That your dirt almost has like an iron content, and that can be really low, or it can be really high and rich in iron content. Okay. Well, your metal detector sort of picks that up, and if you have a lot of iron in your ground, it'll pick it up as a lot of, just sort of false noise and stuff in the ground, where it's not really a target, it's just the dirt. So your metal detector has a function that will zero it out to the level of the iron in the ground. Kind of like when you get on a scale and you can, or you put something on a scale and you can hit the button and it zeroes it out at that weight. Sort of a similar concept. You zero your detector out at the level of iron in the ground. Okay, that's what ground balancing is. Most of them do it automatically with a push of a button, or you can have the detector automatically constantly check the ground. There's a give and take with that, which you can read in your manual. That's getting past the basics. But the basic concept of ground balancing is zeroing out your detector to the level of iron that's in your dirt, right there in that spot. You can't do it, you can't ground balance over here and then drive across town and expect it to be the same. It's not. Same with sensitivity. Same with reactivity speed. You have to kind of adjust to what's happening when you're detecting. You have to adjust to your symptoms. Now, here's the thing too. So say you're getting a lot of noise, and you don't know what it's from. Okay, could be ground, it could be EMI. Hold your coil up in the air. Okay, if your coil's up in the air and you're getting noise, it's not the ground. Okay, that's EMI. Things you want to do first for EMI, very first thing, is a frequency scan, and we'll talk about frequency in another video. But do a frequency scan. That's sort of like a little channel scan. Then increase your reactivity speed or recovery speed. Increase that a little bit faster, and that helps to mitigate EMI. All right. If that doesn't work, you can lower your sensitivity. Do all these adjustments gradually, very small adjustments. Don't make, metal detector adjustments need to be tiny adjustments, okay? You don't go cranking knobs or, holding a button in and dropping it by 10, okay? Just make 1 and 2 number adjustments at a time and give it a try. And then if things get better, you can go backwards from what you did. If, let's just say now you're metal detecting and you're getting a bunch of, high tones, you're getting a bunch of beeps, but you're digging, you're not finding it. That could be mineralized ground that you're detecting. So you want to do a ground balance, another ground balance. You should ground balance. In the United States, you want to ground balance before you detect, pretty much. Some other countries, I know the UK, most of those guys, they don't even ground balance because they don't have any iron in the ground, or they don't have any like mineralized ground, I guess. I don't know. I've never been there. I probably won't be. But regardless of that, that's the concept of those three things. I probably missed some stuff, but hey, listen, put it in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them. Maybe I'll make a new, better video. I don't know. Anyway, hey, I hope you liked the video. I hope these help. I'm gonna make a bunch of these. It's just basic stuff, just chatting about how a metal detector works. It's nothing really rehearsed here or technical. I'm not getting real very thorough with it. You know, I just want to sort of explain some of the basic concepts. Anyway, have a great day, everybody, and swing away.